I really believe in the transformative power of art. I believe that art gives us a way of seeing reality in ways that we may not normally think about, that it has the effect of making us see it for the first time, see it in new ways. I really like the opportunity to teach and research within critical studies. That makes a lot of sense to me, bringing together languages, culture, literature, art, and art history, and I think it's so important that we think about the connections between all of these elements.
Once more onto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead.
Hur shall the herdra, her to the kenra, moder shall the marath, or mayan litlath.
The world we live in, for me, is not separate from the stories that we tell about it. So it's really important that students get a sense of literary and cultural critique as a means of making sense of the world that we live in. I think literary studies can do that for us, give us a way to understand that.
If we think about language as something that is helping to create our reality, then we realize the study of language is absolutely essential to thinking about culture, that we can't have culture outside of language.
We all have horrible memories of taking languages in high school, right? And they get here and they come to me and they say, I did really poorly or I have a really bad experience. And then they embarked on this journey of rediscovering what French or Spanish or Japanese can do for you.
We need to engage in the world of ideas. We need to have debates about ideas, and we need to think critically about the status quo, about the way things are, why they are the way they are.
It's quite an interesting story, unlike any other national literature.
I had really great teachers in university as an undergraduate student and also as a graduate student that instilled in me a real love for literature, but also, even more importantly, maybe a real appreciation for what literary studies could do in terms of promoting critical thinking skills.
We'll talk about what Canadian literature is, and I'll do that by unpacking.
Skepticism means that you have to doubt, you have to question yourself, you have to have a critical mind. Le scepticisme et l'esprit critique est la monarchie de l'intelligence. Skepticism and a critical mind is the monarchy of intelligence.
At first, they often go into an art history class thinking that it's all about teaching you why something is great art and why it's not. It's all about appreciating something. Well, that's not what art history and visual culture studies are all about. What it is, it's about using visual culture as a way to understand your world and to learn more about history, about ideas, politics. We think students in the future will want to know more about and should know more about the rest of the world because it's becoming so important in order to be a global citizen today.
One of the ways my students learn about cultural studies is to produce short 30-second public service announcements, which are put on campus so that they actually watch other people watching what they've produced, and they deal with those issues of sort of power and representation. That engages them not just as sort of the passive readers of text, but as the producers of text, but also as people thinking about how all those levels of representation and technology operate.
I often say to my students that I started out in university looking to simply take a 3-year general degree. Instead, I discovered in university that I could think in ways I never imagined.
I was really very excited by that possibility, that you could see something that you'd seen every day, but see it anew in a totally different way.